All right, let's dive into something truly wild today. Parallel universes. I know, it sounds like something straight out of a comic book, but this idea is actually jumping off the pages of fiction and landing right in the middle of serious, cutting-edge physics. So let's see what the science actually says.
I mean, this is the big one, isn't it? Is this it? For basically all of human history, we just assumed, yeah, of course it is. But now, some of the smartest people on the planet are seriously entertaining the idea that our universe, our entire reality, might just be one of countless others. And that's really the key takeaway here. The multiverse isn't just a fun what-if for movie plots anymore. It's a real possibility that falls out of our very best theories about how the cosmos works, from the tiniest particles to the Big Bang itself. So our first stop on this journey takes us to the weirdest place imaginable, the subatomic world. Down there in the realm of quantum mechanics, reality might be, well, splitting into new universes with every passing moment. This crazy idea is called the many worlds interpretation, or MWI for short. The gist of it is this. Whenever a quantum particle faces a choice, say spinning left or spinning right, the universe doesn't just pick one. Nope, it splits, creating a whole new universe where the other option happens. And this isn't some brand new concept. Way back in 1957, a physicist named Hugh Everett was wrestling with some really deep paradoxes in quantum theory. His solution was, frankly, radical. Just assume all the possible outcomes are real, and each one gets its own universe. So how does this actually work? Well, imagine a quantum event happens, and there are, let's say, two possible results. Instead of one happening and the other disappearing, reality itself just forks. It branches into two separate timelines that can't talk to each other, and each one plays out one of those outcomes. Now here's where it gets really personal. If our big-scale decisions are ultimately based on these tiny quantum events in our brains, it means every choice you've ever made, or didn't make, has played out. Yeah, there's a universe where you took that other job. There's one where you didn't hit snooze today. An infinite number of yous living out every possible life. Wild, right? Okay, so let's zoom way out. We're leaving the quantum world behind and going to the biggest scale imaginable. Our next theory for parallel universes has nothing to do with choices and everything to do with the birth of the cosmos itself. This is called the inflationary model. The idea is that right after the Big Bang, the fabric of space itself expanded faster than the speed of light. In some spots, that crazy expansion, that inflation, slowed down and stopped, allowing a universe like ours to cool down and form. Think of it like a bubble forming in an endless pot of boiling water. A physicist named Alan Guth came up with this back in the 80s to solve some big problems about our early universe. But here's the thing. His model had this incredible side effect. If inflation stopped here to make our bubble, what's to say it didn't happen again and again and again, creating an almost infinite sea of bubble universes? And this is where things get really nuts. Each of those bubbles could be completely different. They could have totally different laws of physics. Just try to imagine it. A universe where gravity is 10 times stronger, or one where there are 4 dimensions of space instead of 3, maybe even one where time flows backward. The possibilities are literally endless. Okay, on to our third and final theory. This one comes from what you might call the holy grail of physics, the search for a theory of everything. We're talking about string theory. So, in a nutshell, string theory says that all the fundamental particles in the universe aren't little points, but are actually tiny vibrating loops of string. And the way a string vibrates determines if it's an electron or a photon or a quark. The math behind this is, well, it's insanely complex, but it predicts a mind-boggling number of ways a universe could be put together, something like 10 to the 500 possibilities. They call this the landscape. And this idea might just solve one of the biggest puzzles out there. Scientists have always wondered why our universe's rules seem so perfect, so finely tuned to allow for life to exist. I mean, if gravity were just a tiny bit stronger, the universe would have collapsed back on itself. A tiny bit weaker, and stars and galaxies never would have formed. So why is it so perfect? Well, if there are trillions upon trillions of universes in the landscape, maybe it's no surprise that we just happen to find ourselves living in one of the rare ones where the conditions were just right. So we have these 3 incredible mind-bending theories, but they all slam into one giant wall. How on earth do you prove any of this? This really brings us to the great debate raging in physics today. And you can see the two sides of the argument right here. On one hand, these multiverse ideas are amazing. They offer these elegant solutions to some really deep mysteries about our reality. But on the other hand, they're completely speculative. I mean, how do you even test for a universe that is, by its very definition, separate from ours? We can't see them, we can't touch them.
But don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean people have given up. Some scientists are looking for indirect clues. For example, they're searching for what you might call a cosmic bruise, a faint spot in the oldest light in the universe that might be a sign that our bubble universe bumped into another one billions of years ago. Finding something like that, it would change everything.
So whether these other universes are actually out there or not, just thinking about them forces us to see ourselves and our world in a completely new light. Let's just quickly recap what we've talked about. We've got three totally different roads that all lead to the same shocking destination. We've got the quantum path, giving us endless copies of our own world. We've got the cosmic inflation path, with bubble universes that have completely different physics. And we've got the string theory path, a mathematical landscape of countless possible realities. Three theories, one staggering conclusion. We might not be alone.
In the end, even if it remains speculative, the multiverse idea is so powerful. It challenges us to get over the idea that we're the center of everything. It suggests we could be part of a reality so much bigger, so much stranger, and so much vaster than we have ever imagined.
And that's the thought I really want to leave you with. If there are infinite versions of you out there, or infinite other worlds with their own forms of life, what does that say about us? What does it truly mean to be special, to be unique, in a cosmos that might be overflowing with everything imaginable? It's a question that pushes science and philosophy to the absolute edge. Thanks for tuning in.